It's Captain Matt here with Captain's Quarters First Class. It's a podcast from the Lighting Trade School. I'm pretty pumped. We have another guest on today's show. We'll bring him up in a few minutes here. Someone from Grand Rapids, Michigan, really just getting started in lighting, but has a cool backstory of getting to this point in his life. So we'll talk to him. Sponsor of this show is Lifetime Lighting Systems. Check them out, lifetimelghtingsystems.com. For those that don't know, Nate Mullen is the founder and inventor. He was also and is also my mentor in outdoor lighting. And he's now a great personal friend. So check them out, lifetimelghtingsystems.com. And thank you for the support. All right. We have been having great weather here in New York. Just a little, we went from like September until 2 weeks ago with every single weekend we had rain or snow until 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, mindsets are totally different around here. And if you're in outdoor lighting or if you're in any outdoor service, we all know that the weather affects everything for our, sales cycles and all that, because the more time people spend outside, the more time they think about hiring guys like us. So I'm super pumped. I know it's been great on the East Coast for all the other outdoor service guys in the area of the East Coast. So anyways, that's a little bit about that. I'm pumped. We're going to, again, this guy is from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We met a few years back, or maybe a year and a half back. This man is the operations manager for Absolutely Clean Services. Grew up in the business of power washing, roof washing, window washing. He's now started Ox Lighting Concepts. He's out there doing designs. He's going to change Grand Rapids, Michigan with his lighting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Toby Blair. Toby, how are you doing?
Thank you, Captain Matt. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Give you a little intro, a little pump up there. So appreciate you coming on. And, this is, I'm pretty excited to learn a little bit more. We met, did we actually meet? Was it at the June training in California?
It was last June in San Diego. Yep.
Okay. So little 13 months ago we met.
A little bit over a year. Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked a lot on the phone, FaceTime videos, all that jazz. You're rocking the Ox Lighting Concepts. So before we kind of hear about the history, tell me a little bit about Ox Lighting Concepts. What are you doing now when it comes to outdoor lighting? Tell me a little bit.
I started Ox Lighting Concepts last August. And so I am doing landscape and architectural lighting and smart soffit lighting with gemstones. I've installed another product and I didn't love it. So I was in search of something and you kind of led the way on that. Which I'm so thankful for, because I, did some research on a few of them and I really fell in love with gemstone. So sure. I've installed that on 3 homes now, and yeah, no issues. And the stuff is amazing. I also have it on my house, so that's fun, and I love to mess with it.
Sure.
In the landscape lighting, I've done a house, and I've done a few houses, and we just wrapped up a 15 light install yesterday.
Awesome. And where do you serve? Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the surrounding area?
Yep, Greater Grand Rapids. We kind of go from Lake Michigan inland like 30 miles and north and south 30 miles. So we're kind of a little south of Grand Rapids, but the surrounding areas we service.
Cool. What's the website to check out Ox Lighting?
oxlightingconcepts.com.
oxlightingconcepts.com. Awesome. And before I guess we jump in, I'll ask a little bit of that, because you said you did 3 gemstone jobs, did a handful of landscape lighting jobs. You started last August. So we're almost to a year in. Why? Like, are you happy with that number? Because, some guys hear this. Are you full-time lighting guy? Kind of go into that a little bit.
Yeah. I love that you asked that question, because we had talked in the past, and it's like, why would you hire a lighting guy that does landscaping? Well, I'm a lighting guy that cleans windows, so it's kind of a funny thing. We started Christmas lights in 2018 with Absolutely Clean Services, and that landscape lighting has always been in the background, because you go to the training and then they speak on landscape lighting. I never pulled the trigger. I was talking to Shane Duffy, because he was doing the same thing cleaning wise as we were.
Yeah.
And dude, I hate pressure washing so much. I can do it and I can do it well, but I just don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me. So I literally called him and was like, dude, what is the deal? And he's like, yeah, I know. We're in the same boat. Like, we're going to a landscape light training in San Diego. It's really in depth. And I was like, really? And he's like, you should check it out. Like, you might be super interested. So I was, I looked into it, and I pulled the trigger. And that's kind of where we're at now. So I'm not full time. I'm just taking jobs as they come, as I'm the operations manager for Absolutely Clean Services.
Okay.
So I have to split time between both.
Sure.
Luckily, right now we have a team in place to do the actual cleaning, so I just kind of get them going in the morning,
Okay.
and then I'm able to focus more on ox. I haven't really pushed it because I'm not in a place to fully go after it, I guess I would say.
Okay.
But that is the plan, or my goal is to do that full-time lighting.
Awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. So as a guy who's never done power washing, I mean, I think I bought one from like, BJ's wholesale club one time, but why do you hate it so much? Like, because I hear this from a lot of power washers, and I know some people will say it's not power washing, it's soft washing, whatever the industry calls it.
Well, yeah. So soft washing, power washing, I should say soft washing, but it's just ingrained in my brain that it's pressure washing.
Yeah.
Soft washing is using chemical, so sodium hypochlorite.
Okay.
It's basically bleach. Pool chlorine is what it would convert to. It stinks. You literally you spray that on the house. It does its thing. It kills all the organic growth and or the roof or sidewalk, and then you
Okay.
go through on siding. You would rinse like with a garden hose pressure, so it's not high pressure. That's why I call it soft washing. But just being around that chem, you just smell like it all day. It gets in your nose. It's on your. You smell like a pool guy. I don't want to smell like a pool guy when I go home. So
Okay.
that is kind of why one thing I don't really like about that. You definitely see like the change of a home, and I love the transformation that it makes.
Sure.
And there's always something breaking, hoses leaking, hoses exploding. There's too many things that go wrong on a pressure wash truck on a weekly basis. So kind of the second
Sure.
reason I'm not a big fan of it as well.
Okay. So there's a lot of money involved in just because there's so many machines and
A
everything.
lot of overhead. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Maintenance and overhead for pressure washing. Yep.
Okay. Now, what's the like margins like if we compare it to, again, because I don't really know soft washing, power washing at all. So let's just say you're doing a full day, you got a crew of 2 out there. Is that crew able to do like $1,000 profit?
Yeah. Yeah. Our goal is 1,500. Some days they pump like 2,000 a truck.
Okay.
Some guys may be higher, some guys may be lower. Depends on where you're at in the country.
Sure.
But that's what we shoot for is $1,500 a truck.
Okay, and that's in gross profit, 1,500.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Okay. Cool. And that's like a normal 8-hour, 10-hour day or whatever.
Yep. 8.
Cool. Awesome.
Sometimes the guys get back at 2:30 and they get to go enjoy their day. So
awesome.
Which is kind of fun for them. They don't have to burn their life all day working away.
Sure. So when you look at lighting versus power washing, and you're saying you want to get out of power washing, that you like lighting, the goal is to be full-time lighting guy. Why?
I feel like I'm a very creative person, so I like the creativity aspect of doing lighting. And also I've always loved outdoors. I was homeschooled, so I would sit at the table doing schoolwork, and I would just look out into the backyard and just daydream, because I'd rather be outside doing something than sitting at the table like learning. Although I learned, but that's something I just really enjoy, is being outside. So being able to take my love for being outside and get somebody lights so that they can also enjoy their outdoor space and extend their home use, I just love. And being creative in trying new things, I also enjoy a lot.
Sure. All right. So on this podcast, I know you've listened to it and everything. So most of our guys are just getting started. Actually, a lot like you, right? They're either just getting started, maybe have 100,000, couple 100,000 a year in lighting. So that,
Yeah.
I want to bring you back to starting or how you got involved in Absolutely Clean Services. I know you're the operations manager now. You've been working in it. I know, personally for basically your entire life. But why don't you tell me a little bit? How did Absolutely Clean Services start in general? Like, tell me that story.
So my dad was a professional painter, and in 19 he hated painting. To start, he did not enjoy it. His boss was not a good boss. I'm sure we can all relate to that. So he saw somebody cleaning windows somewhere. I don't exactly know where, but he was like, "Oh, I could probably do that." So he started to side get cleaning windows out of our Grand Caravan. I don't know what year it was. It was one of those old Chrysler blue box
Oh
square,
yeah.
the family van.
I know that
And
one.
yeah, his boss actually found out. His painting boss actually found out that he was doing something on the side and fired him like on the spot.
Wow.
And so he pursued that, from that day.
So how long was like the side hustling before the boss found
I
out?
want to say a couple months, 6
Okay.
months maybe.
So not even
So
really enough to get his feet on the
not
ground.
a lot of time to do a whole lot. So, um, I wouldn't say we struggled, but I definitely would say we're in a different place now than what we were when everything started.
Sure.
So
So
he
when he
kept
got
going with
fired,
that.
he
Yeah,
just went full-time wash at that point. He said, "Well, this is it. I got no other choice."
exactly. Window cleaning and then power washing came along.
Okay.
Um, so we've he would hire like 2 or 3 college students, um, and I was probably 10 at the time, maybe a little, probably younger than that. And I just would remember these, old guys working with them, although they weren't that old because I was
Okay.
so small.
For sure.
So it's crazy to see the start and kind of where we've made it. And like we would drive around, my mom would drive around to Flyer in our like 1994 Jetta, was a red Jetta, the bike rack on the top, and we would take flyers and she would drive and we would have to put them on the mailboxes, or
Yeah.
we'd go rollerblade through the neighborhoods and hand out flyers. So
All that free labor. Good for her.
yeah, that's right.
So you were basically, so you were already alive when you started. So you were basically, you didn't even
Correct.
know it. You were working in the business just because you were there. You're handing out
Exactly.
flyers and all that. So if that was, he was side hustling for a few months, got fired, said, "I'm going all in." That was about what I think you said 25 years ago or so at
Yeah,
this point.
1999. Yep. So I think 25 or 26 years here.
And is it like a 6-figure company, a 7-figure company, like
7. Yep. We just
7-figure company?
hit 7 last year.
Awesome. So from side hustling to forced to be into it to 7 figures, that's pretty badass. So when you were a kid handing out flyers and everything like that, what was going through your mind? Did you even have any concept of what or why you were doing it?
A little bit. You were just kind of dragged along. I was like, hey, this is what we're doing. You have no choice. So it
Sure.
was just kind of like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing, and yeah, really no concept, I'm sure. At the time, it was just like, why we have to do this? Well, we had to do it so we could make it happen and, have food on the table and stuff like that. So
So besides flyering, was there anything else that you were like doing as a kid? Let's say, young teenager down
oh
that,
yeah.
looking back now, like that, what were you doing besides just flying? Were you
Yeah,
out there watching?
when he would get back, I would clean out his truck. So I'd fill up the water for him, clean out towels, make sure he had what he needed for the next day.
Okay.
And then yes, I say when I was 10, I might have been a little older, but yeah, I've had a squeegee in my hand since 10 years old. So
Hmm.
yeah, knowing getting on ladders and cleaning windows with him, on some jobs, and just learning slowly and helping him along, when he would need help. And then I graduated in 2012, so I've been full time since then. And I grew up cleaning windows, and then when I was old enough to drive, probably 16, I think when I got my license, we had a pressure washing trailer, so I would hook up we had Astro vans for work vans, so I'd use an Astro van and pull a trailer and go wash, 3 houses a day.
Okay.
And that I would just come home reeking like the pool guy.
Like the pool guy.
So bad.
So what are you now? You must, if you graduated in 2012, what are you, 28, 30, something
I'm
like that?
31.
31. So looking back at those early days of your parents starting and you not even having a clue what was going on, what's a few things you learned that you can take from that and, apply to, what you're doing now, trying to start your own, thing? Like what's something that you learned, or I guess in general, like what's something that if you hadn't done that you learned? Share a story or two there.
Yeah, I'm super thankful. I recently I would look back and be like, wow, I wasted my 20s. And I shouldn't have ever thought that, because I put in the work and I sacrificed and I worked my butt off through my 20s. So I actually broke my foot this spring, which was not ideal for all the things I have going on in my life. But I was super thankful that I did sacrifice those years so that we could have a team now to do the work. And I was not relied on or slowing the company down by any means. So super thankful for that. But to look back on the things that I've done, I would say, knowing hard work, like, hey, the job is done when the job is done. I got in with a custom home builder years ago. I would probably say 10. I was pretty young, 18, 20 years old. And we were working for a builder that I knew, and his son-in-law was like a custom home builder, and he does some pretty fancy stuff around here on lakes and things. So he came in and I was just there by myself, doing a construction clean on windows. And what that looks like is cleaning all the debris out of the tracks, cleaning silicone and stickers, overspray off windows so they are like perfect. And he comes in and he's like, Mr. Cocky, so you're the guy, huh? You're the window guy. And I said, yep, I am. How can I help you? And I had no clue who he was. His name's Jeff Sherwood Custom Homes. And I got in with him just because I was, working for his father-in-law. And there was some jobs that I would go to for him, and they were big. So it was like, hey, like, the helper that I had, may not have been the most competent or well-trained, or as fast as I was, I should say. And, it's like coming into 5 o'clock and we're still working away. And it's just like, hey, I'm putting in the time to get this thing done. So it's done for him so that he can count on me, kind of thing, so that I am the window guy, that people can rely on and come to, because there are a lot of guys that, don't show up or don't do what they say they'll do. So I would say that's kind of the biggest takeaway, and just providing the best customer service possible.
Yeah. And from that story right here is the confidence, right? And that's what so many home service guys are lacking. It's why it becomes just a race to the bottom, low bid, especially, I see all the yard signs in my area for power washing. It seems like they're just everywhere, right? So for you, like you just said, I'm the window guy. I'm the window cleaning guy. That confidence means something, right? So when you look back, right, you said you accidentally got put into, I'm the window guy. Like he made you say it, even though you were just kind of working.
Yeah.
That mindset, that mind shift is how you're able to go step onto those properties. Would you agree to that?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
Because no one cares about your customer service if they never use you.
Exactly. Yeah, if they don't know you, it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. What's something like a lesson you learned the hard way, but you wish you hadn't?
Ooh. Being in management when I was young and not knowing how to manage people above me, or really knowing how to manage at all. Family businesses, sometimes you just get thrown into the fire and you're going to learn.
Yeah.
So today now I know a lot more than I did 10 to 15 years ago. So it's like I would go work with guys that were 5-10 years older than me, and it's like, yeah, Bill's my dad. Bill told me this is what we got to do, so this is what I'm telling you to do. And they're like, who the heck is this guy? Like, what's this kid telling us what we're supposed to do? So it's just, this is a hard thing to learn at a
Mm,
young age without, really being taught how to do it.
yeah.
So,
What is something you could, because we have a lot of, young guys, even you, right? You're 31, but starting ox lighting concepts to get into landscape lighting, architectural lighting, you may hire guys that are older than you.
yep.
Forgetting about what the past was, like, how do you deal with that today? Like, what's the Toby now, who's obviously different than he was younger? How do you handle that? Is there a difference? Do you handle a guy working for you who's 40, whether it's
Mm.
in lighting or windows, differently than you handle a guy who's working for you that is 25?
No, I wouldn't. I would see them as, equals, I guess, equals in a way. Um, I work with my mom. My mom is my business partner. So,
Okay.
in the cleaning business. So it's just kind of the same way as like, you know, relationship gets thrown out of the window. It's Camille when we're working. And we sometimes we go at it and it's just you have to make things work as a business. So kind of going back to, you know, working with people that are older or younger, it's like you just need to learn how to communicate with them or how they communicate. And that is going to be the best route to, it's not like, hey, you have to go do this. It's like, hey, I need you to go take care of this, whether
Yeah.
they're younger or older. And we're kind of all, working towards the same, you know, we don't want to be here all day. So let's go clean those 10 windows so we can leave and go enjoy
Yeah.
our lives. Or, putting lights in the ground, like, hey, dude, I need you to trench this and fill the trench in so we can keep moving.
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Yes, that what you just said brings up an interesting thing, because we were on Illuminati Lounge Club earlier, call with Lane Trade School earlier, and you had said something that you didn't have to trench because you had someone there to do it,
Yep.
and you even made a thing like, hey, my foot still hurts because you recently broke it, and we all kind of joke like, well, Toby, as the boss, as the owner, you actually don't need an excuse to tell your people, I'm paying you. This is what I need to do. Now you can do it without being a dick. But I
Right.
think that's another mindset that'll switch for you as you're co-owner of the Absolute Clean. Now you're taking on this thing on your own. You're going to have to level up, right? The old
Yeah.
Toby's not going to be good enough for what you're trying to do. And it happens to all of us in every stage of life, right? Because I'm
Right.
sure if we looked at 25-year-old Toby to now, you manage people different, you have a different confidence about you, you just know more and know. So I think that's another great thing is, you've learned how to manage so many people,
Yeah.
but you still had equals and people above you in terms of, you just said your mother. Now, when you are just that guy, you're going to have that other mind shift, that'll tell you like you're the boss and that's okay. A lot of times it can be really hard to remember that you're
Yep.
not friends with these people. Like
Right.
they're there for your money. That's why they show up to work. They're not there because they like you,
Exactly.
right? So remember that, right? They're there for your money. So you need to tell them what to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're
Yeah.
agreeing to it, and you can do it without being a dick. But
Yep.
um, and that's going to be a really cool journey that I can't wait to see, you continue to go on here. Because I know even my own life, right? Look back 5 years ago, I laugh at that past version. And I know the same thing will, happen to you. Just even from these stories of, you just went from these guys are older than me. Like, I know that must have been so tough as a 20, early
Oh
20s, and
yeah.
telling a 40, 45-year-old what to do. That'll make you grow real quick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh man. So now you're co-owner of Absolutely Clean. So like, are you involved? You said you're operations manager.
Yep.
So are you involved in like the marketing and everything, or are you very just linear? I am in charge of operations.
I wear many hats. So from like oil changes in the trucks to making sure things are, good. I do that. I don't do a whole lot of marketing. I am in on like what's happening, but I don't necessarily deal with that. We
Okay.
also have an office manager that takes care of like all the scheduling. So um, I have a few like clients that will just reach out to me because they know stuff gets done when they call me. And then I redirect that to Jennifer, our office manager. She schedules it. And then if I need to respond back and say, this is when we're coming, they're like, okay, thumbs up. But
Okay.
yeah, so I have my buddy's dad will literally just text me out of the blue and be like, "Hey, I need this done." Said, "Okay, deal."
So,
So
okay, so you're that guy. You're the guy that they go to. They know the shit will get done. What's
exactly.
what's something in the business that's either broken or not necessarily broken, but you know right now could be better that you haven't fixed yet?
Hmm. Pressure wash trucks, they all need to be reworked because we've just had so many issues. So, yeah, probably going to be investing in some new skids this end of the season, and just making sure that's runs like a well-oiled machine because it's frustrating for everyone involved that has to deal with that. So I've got the window cleaning to be pretty smooth rolling. So I'd love to get the pressure washing to that point.
So
So
they're different trucks for power washing versus window
correct.
cleaning.
Yep. So we have 5 trucks for window cleaning only. So they do window cleaning, Christmas lights when Christmas comes, and then gutter cleaning.
Okay.
And then we have 2 pickup trucks with skids in the beds that are set up for pressure washing. So they'll do pressure washing and like gutter cleaning.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So basically, you need better trucks or you need better tools on the trucks, and you just haven't done it yet.
Correct.
Okay. And I guess we'll also talk about ox lighting in here. What is something right now that you know should be happening that you just haven't taken the time to do, whether that's a system, an activity, or whatever?
Yeah. More reaching out to. So I've been marketing to our cleaning clientele for lighting. So I need to
Okay.
continue reaching out with them. I sent some text blasts out and we had really good luck with people responding. So I need to go back to that. I need to probably change my yard signs. They're maybe a little messy and not just simple. I just needed to make something simple with phone number on it so people aren't like squinting to be like, what the heck is that? So change yard signs, and then I need to look into some possible marketing, like paying somebody to, get my name and stuff out there so I can just be known in the
Okay.
area.
Sure. Okay. So something that you need either marketing or just be known and tighten up even your client outreach, the ones that the
Correct.
clients you have now, just tighten it out. Okay.
Yep.
Um, you know, when you said your goal is to be in lighting, what's the plan there in terms of, does Absolutely Clean services get sold? Like when your parent, like, you have other families can take it. Like what's
There
Toby's dream there?
Yeah, right. I know. We were talking about this the other day, actually. I really don't know at this point, Matt. I really want to do lighting, so I either need to hire somebody to run Absolutely Clean Services when it gets passed down, or when my parents retire,
Mhm.
um, or it gets sold.
Okay.
Um, Definitely could go both ways. It would be kind of sad because that's just
Hmm.
something that we've babied from, the beginning. So
Yeah.
it's not my baby personally, or at least I don't see it that way. So I don't have that much emotional tie to it. So if it, you know, either way, I will be
Okay.
happy.
Sure.
Um, and then, yeah, I really want to focus on lighting full time come next season.
Okay.
So hiring people to take my position as operations manager and filling those spots in Absolutely Clean Service will definitely free up my time to do that.
Sure. So goal is for next season to get out or be able to hire someone for Absolutely Clean. What steps are you taking now today that are setting you up to be able to do that?
Training one of our lead techs that's been with us for 2 years, I think now, is being trained for tech management, and
Okay.
also could be pulled up to that operations manager level.
Sure.
So we have people in house, and then looking for a sales guy as well to do sales, to because I do quotes as well
Okay. So
out in
I
the
guess
field.
you're probably in that position. I know when I was making my first strategic hires, when I had operations manager, field operations manager, lead techs, all that, I found out like to replace me, I couldn't just hire someone to replace me because I was doing too many things. Sounds like you're kind of going through that now, trying to are you like kind of writing down or figuring out everything you actually do and going, holy shit, I'm not just operations. Now you just said you're sales, you're this. Is that kind
Yeah.
of what you're going through?
Yeah, so we've been working with a business coach, and he is in the same industry we are, and we were literally talking. He's like, "So who's doing this?" And I was like, "Well, I am." And he's like, "Oh gosh," and I was like, "Yeah, it's do a little of everything. That's the biggest thing." So yeah, we need to hire specific people for specific positions to free up that time. And yes, making just writing things down for what needs to be taken care of is the biggest thing.
Okay, awesome. What's what's something that you really want to accomplish that you're a little afraid or nervous that you might not?
Hmm. Like in business?
That's
Hmm.
it. You could,
What a question.
yeah, that's a ring. That's why I leave it more towards the end. You get loosened up and bam.
Dang. I don't know. Yeah, my dream is to be a millionaire or be
Okay.
wealthy. So, I love helping people, and I've always wanted to be able to give cars away.
Okay.
So getting to that point where it's like my family is taken care of, my wife and my child and kids to come, um, and we're set for life, and then being able to bless other
That's awesome.
people with time or money,
Yeah.
is always something that I wanted to do. So I guess that.
Hell yeah, man. That's amazing. You should probably print that out and put that up in your office so you can be reminded every damn day of why
I
you're doing
know
it.
I
Right?
should. It's always in the back of my head.
What do you think Toby 10 years from now is going to say if he looks back? What's something he's going to smack you up on the head for, do you think?
Hmm. Not doing what I wanted to do sooner.
Okay.
Although I'm thankful that I pulled the trigger and started oxiding concepts, you know, because I've always wanted to try something. When I was young, I had a land I would go door to door in our neighborhood and mow people's lawns.
Okay.
Um, and I was always mad at my parents for not like showing me how to like run it as a business. Like, hey, you made $20 from this lawn, $10 you need to save. We're
Hmm.
going to put $5 towards gas, and then you can save the other five. And so I never did that. But I
Sure.
think, and it's fine. We're here, we're doing this. But I think if I would have known how to do that, I would have had a very sizable landscape business, you could say. So,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think when I'm 40, I think I would be proud of myself for going out and trying something new.
Sure. Awesome. That's funny. You mentioned that and not learning. I think that's, a huge thing that happens to all of us. I mean, even personal finances get so fucked up because no one's ever taught like, hey, that can be leverage, but you have, if you're swimming and barely keeping your head up because it's all debt servicing, well,
Right.
that's not a win, right? Um, but and you mentioned too that you have a coach for the Absolutely Clean Services or a business mentor, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So clearly, you and the other owners see the value in it. I talk about that. Like, is there a difference? Have you been working with a coach long? Is there a difference when you work with a coach or mentor and actually pay someone to help you from the outside looking in?
Yes. You just need to make sure that they actually do what they are teaching, and not just coaching to coach. Like
Okay.
they have the stuff that they're talking about that is backing them up, so that when they tell you what to do, that it actually, works, or, you understand it.
Hmm.
Because, I've sat there before with certain coaches and just stuff goes over my head. I'm like, what? What are you
Right.
talking about, dude? That makes no sense. So, yeah, really, I think it's very valuable, but it needs to line up, I guess, with your values and your dreams,
Need to be a
and
good mesh, is what you're
yeah,
saying, right?
exactly.
Like when I talk to guys, not everyone's going to want to be, mentored or coached by me. I swear too much. I'm, all of this stuff, right? Like, It's okay, but when you find a guy you mesh with and and then they know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
it's you're saying it's worth it. Like
Oh, it
you're
makes such
seeing
a huge
value.
difference.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
so much value.
awesome. What about, so as we're wrapping this up, let's flip it back to Ox Lighting. You're getting started. Oxlightingconcepts.com. Landscape lighting, architectural lighting, smart soffit lighting.
Let's go.
What's what is something, we're coming this summer, and I know you're super busy as operations manager. Is there anything you got planned to kick it up? Like is there a goal you have set for yourself in Ox Lighting for before Christmas season? Because I know how crazy Christmas season
Oh
gets. You
yeah.
probably won't focus on landscape lighting. Is there anything you've set for yourself? And if so, why did you set that goal?
I wanted to set out to make 200 grand. So, working back from that, it's like 20 jobs,
Okay.
give or take this,
Sure.
price wise. So I've done 3.
Okay.
So got a ways to go. So I really haven't done, a whole lot just because we've been busy with, May and June for the cleaning business. Takes a lot of time away. So getting back into sending text blasts, getting yard signs out, and I think coming closer to the holiday season, the smart soffit lighting will kick off.
Sure.
So I will be juggling that along with Christmas lights. Yep.
When you know your dad was side hustling and then got fired and had to go full time, do you ever think like what would Toby do different if his parent if your partners were just like, fuck you, you're done, you want to start something else, go do it? What would you operate differently? What would you do differently if you had to do Ox Lighting with no fallback of absolutely clean?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I would get out and just go talk to as many, property managers, home builders, landscape architects. I don't know of any house designers, but I'm sure if I looked, I would find them. So getting out, talking to those people, going into the community and just making myself known.
Sure.
Stopping in somewhere with some donuts and coffee and letting them know who I am. Um, I think if I had to do something, it would happen. I just am comfortable, I guess you could say, with the other business as well. So
Sure.
might need to get a little uncomfortable here coming up. My ankle, I can get around now, so I'm super excited about that. We're gonna make some stuff happen. So I think that fracturing my foot also definitely changed my perspective.
Okay.
And I was talking about I was wearing like an Aircast boot and I had crutches in the knee scooter, and I was like, I will never be ungrateful to walk again in my entire life, because it's just like so like I'm not a person that sits around a whole lot. So
Right.
definitely a life or perspective change big time.
I feel that. I maybe 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3. But I was at a lighting demo and I fractured one side of my ankle and broke the other side. And I was the same way. And I was like, holy shit. Like total different respect for people that are in wheelchairs and like forever. Like you talk about that
100%.
gratitude for sure. I also find myself like I started stretching differently once I was able to walk again. Like I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
be able to balance on one leg just in case this ever happens again. Cause I was not great on one foot, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. And crutches are so horrible, dude.
Yeah. That
Terrible.
knee scooter too, man. I remember I was shooting down my house and you get really going. Like we had
Oh yeah.
ceramic tile, and then I hit a transition in the house. Well, the scooter didn't go over it. And I just went flying.
I did that a few times out in we were at a baseball game or something and I bit it good. Went over the handlebars, just like, oh my gosh. But
Awesome.
I think it definitely showing up in crutches in a boot to do like a lighting consult changes things. They're like, oh wow, this guy's he's here. They're like, do you need help getting into the backyard? I'm like, no, we're gonna get there.
So is
So
that going to be the plan going forward? You're just going to be the
yeah,
lighting guy
just
on crutches?
wear crutches in a boot and make people feel bad for me.
I like it.
So they buy from me.
Okay. Hey, it's a 10. Hey,
Uh,
maybe you should try it right now. But
so
awesome, man. Well, hey, I appreciate the time and energy spent on this. Anything else that you want the world to know before we say goodbye?
Keep at it and work hard. Don't let your work beat you.
Don't let your work beat you. I like that. All right, awesome. Again, Toby, appreciate you. They can check out Absolutely Clean at what?
AbsoluteCleanServices.com and then oxlightingconcepts.com. And then I also have Instagram, Oxlighting Concepts.
Badass. So go check them out, especially if you're in that Grand Rapids, Michigan area. I know he's got some great mentors and coaches in his corner for lighting, so you'll get a badass plan.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, have a great week. This has been Captain's Quarters First Class, a podcast from the Lighting Trade School. Now go out and make some money. We'll talk to you guys later. Yeah.